I can provide you with a general overview of potential outcomes based on historical context and geopolitical analysis up until my last knowledge update in September 2021. Please note that the situation might have evolved since then. In a best-case scenario, diplomatic efforts could lead to a ceasefire and negotiations between Ukraine and Russia. A peace settlement might involve the re-establishment of pre-war borders and the withdrawal of Russian forces from Ukrainian territory. International organizations and peacekeeping forces might be involved to monitor the situation and ensure compliance. In a worst-case scenario, the conflict could escalate into a full-scale war, leading to a significant change in territorial control. Russia might seek to annex parts of eastern Ukraine, particularly Donetsk and Luhansk, as it did with Crimea in 2014. This would likely be met with strong international condemnation and sanctions. In the best-case scenario, if diplomatic efforts are successful early on, the human casualty toll could be limited. Efforts to prioritize civilian safety and minimize military confrontation could reduce the loss of life on both sides. In the event of a prolonged and intense conflict, the human cost could be devastating. Both military personnel and civilians might suffer casualties due to combat, bombings, and other forms of violence. The situation could lead to a refugee crisis as people flee the conflict zones. The impact on civilian infrastructure, including homes, hospitals, and schools, could be severe. Best-case scenario, worst-case scenario, best-case scenario. In a best-case scenario, diplomatic resolutions could lead to a de-escalation of military activities. Ceasefires might be established, and both sides could agree to a withdrawal of forces from contested areas. Confidence-building measures could be implemented, such as disarmament and demilitarization in specific zones. In a worst-case scenario, a prolonged conflict could result in significant military changes. Russia might enhance its military presence in Ukraine, leading to a shift in the regional military balance. This could have broader implications for Eastern Europe and potentially prompt NATO to bolster its presence in neighboring countries as a deterrent. It's important to emphasize that outcomes are highly uncertain and can be influenced by numerous factors, including international diplomacy, the determination of the involved parties, the stance of neighboring countries, economic pressures, and the will of the international community. A peaceful resolution is typically the desired outcome to prevent loss of life, humanitarian crises, and regional destabilization. However, history has shown that conflicts can take unpredictable turns, and the situation can change rapidly. It's recommended to consult up-to-date sources for the most current analysis and information.